Right. I think we had built up to close to 1,000 people and suddenly got shut down. Let's hope that we are back on. Let's hope we are back on. Uh, okay, we'll be back on, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back on. We'll be back. I think we are right back on now. All right, great. So, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know what happened. Suddenly, we got shut down. So, please, thank you. Go ahead, let others know we are right back there with the broadcast. We know a lot of public has agents trying to monitor what we say, and they work together with Facebook to shut us down. Went up to 1,000 people and dropped down. Cut off. All right, we are back live, ladies and gentlemen, here on the social media. Thank you. Quickly repopulate the platform. But that is the message that we have received, that these are the suggestions, the advice that the country of France is giving La République du Cameroon to appoint an Anglophone president this time, so that if they should have an Anglophone president, then Anglophones don't have to cry of marginalization, and their cry for independence would have been neutralized with a president from their own part of the country. That is what they have suggested. That is what the French have suggested to La République du Cameroon. We are watching to see what is the outcome from there. But let me say this. This interim government was set up to fight for a free country called Ambazonia, not a federal country, not a federal La République du Cameroon. And so you can go on and choose an Anglophone to rule La République du Cameroon for eternity. We will make him your citizen and not our citizen. Our citizens are looking for their own country, not a country in La République du Cameroon where their citizen is their president. That is not what we are looking for. We are bent on this, ladies and gentlemen, and nothing that they sell us short of a free and independent Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia will end this conflict. Nothing other than that. We didn't have to have all these people, 30,000 Ambazonians slaughtered by French Cameroon soldiers. 400 settlements burned down by French Cameroon soldiers for us to go talk federation or have some Anglophone president in La République du Cameroon. We didn't need that. We don't need their damn president. And if you choose to go run for president of La République du Cameroon, again, we will make you their citizen and you will move over there to rule from there. Not anywhere in Ambazonia. Not anywhere in Ambazonia. So that will not happen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for quickly regathering back. We don't know what happened, whether Facebook shut us down or what. We do not know. But thank God we are back live on the social media. And it is looking good. We had hit about 1,000 people, and it went off. But great, we're getting almost 700 now already. Keep on hitting your share button for those who do not know. We are back live, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we got some very, very interesting revelations in an interview that I will be bringing to you shortly. Going to be very, very exciting. Very, very exciting interview, revelation. I know these are things that you have heard before, but you never thought for once there is somebody who has actually researched them, investigated them, and can corroborate them. That is what I'm bringing to you shortly. So please go ahead again, hit your share button. Let me get to Coupe Manuguba. Now, before I get to Coupe Manuguba, please, let's take this other subject here concerning the abduction of FM No PT's family a few days ago. As you all know, ladies and gentlemen, few days ago, La République du Cameroon abducted the families of General No PT. And Up to today, as I come to you, the family of General No Pity remains in the custody of La République du Cameroon. Nobody knows precisely where they are kept, be it whether in Bamenda or in Douala or in Yaoundé. Nobody knows where they are kept. The brothers, the sisters, the parents were all picked up, abducted by French Cameroon authorities. And as you know, this is what happened to my family. I think a year ago. You all remember the abduction of my mother, the abduction of my sister, the abduction of Fee Masha's wife, pregnant wife. You know, this is what they call the last kick of a dying horse, ladies and gentlemen, the last kick of a dying horse. That is what La République du Cameroon is doing. And they think that by doing this, they intimidate us, they quell our spirit, and intimidate us to give up on the war. Of course not. Of course not. This intimidation does not frighten us to give up on Ambazonia. And of course, you have heard from Fimasha No Pity. This is not intimidating him. This is not intimidating him to give up on the war. Fimasha No Pity has said they can keep them. They can keep his parents there. If they think that by holding his parents, he will be afraid to go on and carry on with the prosecution of this war. He has said that is not, again, that is not going to be the case. We have a message here from the interim government for La République du Cameroun. And the message is that, of course, we care about those family members. Now, before I move on, let me remind you, none of them has been released. There is some falsified information on the social media that his brothers and sisters, FM No Pity's brothers and sisters were released. That is not true. Only one person whom they tortured to death, and because they were afraid he may die, they released him. Only one person was released. The one they tortured and they were afraid could die within the cell. He was released. Other than that, all of them abducted, they still remain in custody. Now, from the interim government, we want General No Pity to know, and that family to know, the interim government stands behind them, support them, will do everything necessary to support them, to make sure that the family is released. To La République du Cameroun, we want them to know that holding that family for 1 year will not stop the Ambazonian war. The same thing was tried on Fimasha of Ambazonia. Of course, when they picked up the wife, picked up the mother, picked up the sister, they thought he was going to compromise and surrender. Of course, Fimasha did not start fighting, and Fimasha Fimasha No Pity by no means is going to stop fighting. In fact, let me take you through some images here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these images here. Let me take you to these images here. Look at these images here, ladies and gentlemen. The images you find on your screen. This is the work of Fimasha No Pity only yesterday. Only yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Fimasha No Pity, in spite of the attack on his family, ladies and gentlemen, went out yesterday and destroyed this French company. I think it's called Sodepa. And I understand that it says General No Pity attacked Sodepa in Dumbu Ranch. yesterday, that was, I think, Tuesday, the military in the area ran away. The military in the area ran away. A tractor, a pickup, and a credit union building were burned. So the power is French Cameroon company called Société de Développement et d'Exploitation de Production Animale. Please pardon my French. That is just my own little French. So that is the work of Field Marshal No Pity, ladies and gentlemen. Only yesterday, Tuesday, in spite of the attacks on the mother, the father, the brothers, and the sisters. That is it. Look, take a look at that. All right. So again, this interim government stands behind Field Marshal No Pity, and the interim government will do everything that they can to support him and to support that family. For French Cameroon, you're wasting your time, sirs. Take all of our families. Nobody will renege. Nobody will cut and surrender until independence come. All right. But to another thing, another story, the destruction, the mayhem in recent times on the French Cameroon army. We saw what happened in the Bouy. Look at what happened in Bouy, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at that. That is the work of Bouy warriors. This happened yesterday. This truck that you see cost millions for French Cameroon. Look at that. Look at that. That cost millions for French Cameroon. That happened yesterday. It was destroyed yesterday by the Bouy warriors. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that. Look at it. Look at another one there. That is what is happening in Ambazonia. In Ambazonia. And look at this one too. This is the footage of the decade for this war, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the ingenuity of Ambazonia restoration fighters in Libya. Look at that. I want you to observe particularly the height at which the explosion ejects this military truck. The height at which the explosion ejects the military truck. Look at it. Look at it. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. In that truck that you see, it came out, it left there in pieces. 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 And we do not know the number of casualties coming out of that incident there, but it was bad. It was bad. It was bad, ladies and gentlemen. And that is why I guess Paul Biya could not believe it. Paul Biya just couldn't believe it. And he went to the scene. He went to the scene and looking at the wreckage. Looking at the wreckage there, he couldn't believe his eyes, but to use some of those foul words, the Ambazonia boys. Ambazonia boys. So look at what they have done. Well, that is some in a lighter mood there, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I am joined by the chairperson for Coupe Maniguba, Dr. Epa himself. Dr. Epa himself. Dr. Epa, it's a great privilege to have you here with me, sir. Let us talk again. Can you? Yes, please. That is great. Yes, thank you. So thank you for joining me, Dr. Epa. I know that every route this weekend leads to Coupe Maniguba. We want to see, again, after Dr. Epa, ladies and gentlemen, I will be bringing you the exclusive revelations of the day. Please do not touch your remote because it is going to be stunning. So, Dr. Epa, great to have you here, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Secretary Chris. Can you hear me well?
I am doing excellent. Thank you for coming on the show. This weekend is all about Kupe Maneguba. We are coming out of the BLM from last week, and I know you probably have lots of expectations for Kupe Maneguba. Tell us what your expectations are for the weekend's draft.
Oh, Secretary Chris, we are very, very excited. But first, let me make a certain correction. I'm not the chairperson for Kupe Maneguba. I am the vice chairperson for Kupe Maneguba.
Okay. Thanks for that correction.
Yes. And again, I am the chair of Nguti local government area and also a member of the Restoration Council. So
wonderful. How many LGAs are there in the Kupe Maneguba, sir?
We have 3 LGAs, Bangam, Tomber, and Nguti. And we are looking forward to seeing all the Ambazonians, our supporters from everywhere to come and help us build that great county. Hello,
awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. Yes. We, although I've come alone, but other members were supposed to come. They are very busy, but the county decided to select me to come and represent them. And anything that you ask me that I know, I will explain to Ambazonians and to our supporters who will be coming on Saturday to support us.
Wonderful. Again, how many counties, how many LGAs there in Kupe Maneguba?
I said 3. That's Bangam, Tomber, and Nguti.
Okay. Now, what did you raise last year? I mean the total, not the actual amount that came in, but what was drafted last year. What did you get up to?
We got $86,000.
Wow.
Last year.
Wow, $86,000 last year.
Correct.
So, what are your expectations for this year, this weekend?
Oh Lord, we are expecting more than $200,000.
Wonderful. Now, Kupe Maneguba is one of those counties with issues here and there. When it comes to managing the restoration forces in the Kupe Maneguba, how is the synergy there? Is there a chain of command that is respected by the county?
Secretary Chris, someone was calling me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, can you repeat that question? Someone was calling me.
Yes, I said that Kupe Maneguba is one of those counties with little issues here and there. But when it comes to the restoration forces on the ground, is there some synergy within the forces with a chain of leadership that is very much coordinated from the county hierarchy?
Yes, we have had a series of problems. You know, Kupe Maneguba is I would say maybe it's the first county which is actually La Republique. CPDM has a very strong hold in Kupe Maneguba, and most of our restoration forces have actually suffered a lot. Many have died, and still we have some of them who are very powerful. They are willing to fight, and this chain of command, and they are doing the right thing. They don't cause havoc anywhere except to La Republique slaves who have come to our place. In fact, I call them as slaves because if they were not slaves, they would not come and try to take over Ambazonia. Right. So our forces actually have a chain of command, they listen to what we say, and they even sometimes speak with the commander-in-chief, and we are just looking forward to seeing all the Ambazonians come and support us. A number of them have been killed by the enablers within and without, and that has been the problem in Kupe Manunguba. So
now, Kupe Manunguba, that is the county of the Bongolese, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, Bongolese, and you are my neighbors. In fact, we are your big brothers. You know that. Libya Lem is your big brother.
No, Libya Lem is our junior brother.
Oh, you're not serious there.
Okay, I would say in case of this fight, yes, this struggle, Libya Lem is our big brother, Field Marshal. Have done a very great job. He's our neighbor. He has helped us very greatly. Most of our boys were trained there. They know the guerrilla fight very well. We, even in production, they know how to do that. And but when it comes in terms of the size, oh no, Manunguba is a brother to Labiela.
Well, of course, I know that. That was just a little humor, intended for humor there.
Yes.
So, but tell us, is there anything special that you would love Ambazonians to know as a means of motivation to get Ambazonians to support the work of the restoration fighters in the Kupe Manunguba?
Oh, yes. Why should Kupe Manunguba come? Why should Ambazonians come to Kupe Manunguba to draft for us? Kupe Manunguba is a gateway for this liberation struggle. It is all of our 3 LGAs are in a strategic position. Let's take Chombel, for example. I will start with Chombel.
Yeah.
Chombel has that road from Kumba to Lum, and therefore is very strategic. Bangam has a very long border with La République du Cameroon. Then let's go to Nguti. Nguti is in the heart of this struggle. Nguti is between Kambe when you are going to Victoria, you have to pass through Nguti. When you are coming from Ekok or even from Nigeria passing through Manu, you have to pass through Nguti, going to Victoria. Same like anybody living Victoria, going to Bamenda and Kambe or going to Manko, you have to pass through Nguti. Nguti is at the center of Ambazonian country. And that is why there are a lot of forces in Nguti. Nguti also has a lot of natural resources.
Okay.
That we have to take care of. We cannot allow La République du Cameroon to take over Kupe Manunguba. We tried it, the Bamnikens tried it in 1960s, but the Bakosi man fought against their inclusion. Although they are in a very large number in Tonga, as you will know, it's a Bamniken lady who is a mayor in Tonga. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, you are right. You remind me of that a Francophone, a French Cameroon citizen, is the mayor of a southern Cameroon county. That is happening in Moyoka. I think there's also one up in Bamenda. this is really one of the reasons for which we are fighting. And before I get back to you to comment on this, ladies and gentlemen, again, right after this, I am coming up with that interview with those special revelations. Do not go anywhere. The best is yet to come. So tell me, how come this lady became the mayor of your city, of your town, a francophone?
Well, I told you earlier that enablers from Kupe Mwanenguba who are in Yaoundé or who are working in La Republic were those who made that happen. In fact, I was in Tonga when that happened. The person who was running for that mayor was an Amazonian, I would say Southern Cameroonian. But they knew that no one was going to beat him in the election, so they invited this lady from Douala to come and run for that election. And they all supported him.
So this lady came all the way from Douala to run election in Kupe Mwanenguba?
Yes, the parents have a background. The parents were those who came and settled in Tombel. And according to them, those enablers, he comes from Tombel. So they invited him and they gave him money to campaign against a Southern Cameroonian, Dr. Ntoko, who would have been the mayor. That is the history. I'm telling you the fact because I was in Tombel. I happened to go to Cameroon at that time, so-called Cameroon at that time, and I came to Tombel. And that's what happened. That is what our people do. Even our boys who have been killed in Guti, one day 17 restoration forces were not killed by La Republic of Cameroon, were killed by our own people who have been brainwashed because money came from Yaoundé to do the job.
Right.
In fact, the killings of they killed 5 boys in the same village. And I will tell you, it was our own people. Some are within and some are without.
Now, were those infiltrators ever detected? Were they ever arrested?
Who is going to? It is when we finish this war.
Okay.
That's when we'll go back to it. But for now, they think everything is fine, it's cool. I will tell you right here, we of Nguti, we know those who perpetrated those atrocities, either within or without. We know them.
Good. What is the morale? What is the morale of the restoration fighters today inside Kupe Mwanenguba as a whole? Are they picking up the spirit as we see in the Ngoketwinjia, we see in Bui, we see in Bali, we see in Libialem, we see in Mamfe, we see in Pinyin, we see all over the place. Even in Dian with Fima Shatem Kobo. Are they picking up the spirit up in Kupe Mwanenguba?
Yes, we are picking up. Last year, the whole place was almost dormant. Actions were being taken in Guti, have been taken in Guti, and you all know that. In Tombel, I think there were some actions. It was Bangam that there was no action for last year, and even part of this year. But everyone is pumped up right now. All the local governments are really pumped up. All what we want is the support of other Amazonians to come and help us.
Now, you, as you mentioned from the onset, Kupe Mwanenguba is very, very strategically located in Ambazonia, you are right there on the road between Mamfe or Manu and Meme. That is a very important piece of highway there that links Nigeria into Ambazonia and to the biggest commercial town in Ambazonia, being Kumba. I think if you have money, you could do more policing that highway and getting rid of French Cameroon army on that stretch of the road, isn't it?
Very correct. You are very correct, Secretary Chris. Our boys in Guti have courage. I will say the whole Kupe Maningo. Only few are dormant, but most of our boys have courage, especially those in Guti. In Kupe Maningo, Guti has been carrying most of the fighting right from the start. You will remember that Nguti was the first local government area. Our restoration forces were the first to host the Ambazonian flag in Nguti. They kicked out the gendarmes, they put up the flag. They went and kicked out the Dio, they put the flag. It was at that moment that Field Marshal himself, Field Marshal of Ambazonia, told some of our colleagues that was what motivated him when he was in the army in that damn country of La République. And that made him resign and go out. That when he saw the flag up, he knew that if he who was in the army could not join us, that would be a very big blow for him. So he left the army because of what Guti did. And Guti continues to maintain that high morale. And we shall fight and kick out those fellows, La République, from our land. In Guti, look, I will say in Kupe Manunguba. So, in fact, it is very easy for us to knock them out, but we need the help of Ambazonians. In fact, Ambazonians should not take Guti very lightly. I will say the whole Kupe Manunguba, because as you rightly said, if one county is lacking behind and 12 counties have taken over their own territory and one has not taken, then we have not yet gotten the independence. So if only Nguti can fight and Bangam and Tombe do not fight, then it still makes little or no sense. So please, I will appeal to all Ambazonians and supporters to come and help us in Kupe Manunguba. But the heat is in Guti, where you have a very large army camp. Very large army camp. Many of them have come, some come from Manfred and come from Kumba to come and be there. So the army camp is so large and they are haunting our boys. They hold meetings with our chiefs to make sure that those chiefs kill their own children. That is what has been happening since 2018. Our boys in Guti have died, more than 40. And some have died fighting even in Bangam, when the boys in Bangam were sleeping on their beds. So, because of what enablers have done in Bangam, and they have done in Guti, but Guti is of different tribes.
Right.
Nguti has 5 tribes. And so there's no way that you can convince all the tribes to lay down your arms. There's no way.
So, talking about Ambazonians turning out to support Kupe Maniguba, the zeal of the indigenes themselves in this exercise is very much important tell us, how is the spirit among the Kupe Manigubans themselves at this moment? Are they upbeat? Are they ready? Do you see a better turnout compared to last year?
Yes, Secretary Chris. We are beat up. We are very energized. We hold meetings constantly. Even after this show, I will go into. We have another meeting today. We are waiting for you all. Everything will be very, very good. Okay. Well organized.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Please look at that camera. Any message that is in your heart you want Ambazonians to get, please pour out your heart to them.
Fellow Ambazonians, first of all, I did not actually greet the restoration forces in Kupe in all 13 counties. I greet you. Your cafe is up. You all are doing a very wonderful job. Fellow Ambazonians, as this war continues, we have to continue to fight. We cannot be discouraged. I know that a few of us spent a lot of money on this struggle. The same people contributing every time. We know that times are very hard for everybody. But we also have to take a responsibility and do the right thing. Independence is not cheap. Some of us are in the United States, and many are in the United States and other parts of the world, in Europe. United States fought for their independence. They fought their independence for 7 years. By the 5th year, in fact, George Washington lost nearly every battle. But he continued the war. By the 5th year, only about 1/4 of the Americans were still behind the struggle. He continued to fight with the 1/4 of the people that he had. And finally, America is now leading the world in everything. That is why everybody tries to run in any part of the world. They want to come to America. If they did not fight for their independence, many of us will not be running to come to America. If you see anybody in Europe, out of 100%, 90% would have loved to be in America. But they had no choice. They had no opportunity to come right to America. Even Europeans want to come to America and leave Europe. So, fellow Ambazonians, especially those in Kupe Manungu,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. We lost Dr. Epa there, and I hope that we all got the message anyways about Kupe Manuguba's draft over the weekend coming up precisely on Saturday, as we have done for Bui, for Ngoke Twinja, for Manu, for the BLM. Let us do the same. Let us do the same for Kupe Manuguba. This Saturday, we need to go out in their numbers and really support them. As I said from the onset of this broadcast, if we save every county in Ambazonia and one is left, Ambazonia will still be a dependent country on the Republic of Cameroon. Dr. Epa has just quickly joined. Dr. Epa, please, 1 minute round up. Let me bring in the next guest, and please, again, I'm bringing up my next guest with the revelations that I promised bringing today. You're going to hear a lot of what is going on in La Republique. The discovery of mass graves in Tole, in Boya. The rule of Eli Smith inferring arms from La Republique du Cameroon through the ADF and so many other things. You will hear what Frank Biya is doing in that country at all costs to become their next president. A lot and lots of things, and these are coming from somebody who has been on the ground, an American who has paid for these investigations. Please just stay put, don't rush out. She will be here. Meanwhile, Dr. Epa, please, 1 minute to round up.
Thank you, Secretary Chris. I'm sorry, someone called me, and that is why I was disconnected. Tell Ambazonians, I will just shorten everything. We need your help to support us. We are going to draft local government by local government. If you have $5 and you want to support Kupe Maninguba, indicate whether $2 are going to Nguti, $2 are going to Bangam, and $1 is going to Tombe, or any amount that you come and help support us. But we're drafting local government by local government, not county. So please, I just wanted to let you know. And we have different payment options based on individual LTAs. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Epa. Thank you for joining me in the broadcast. I look forward to being with you on Sunday for Kupe Maninguba Amber War Drive. I wish you all the best, and if there is anything that ABC can do to make this more successful, please, let's do it. One thing that I have not found, I was looking for Kupe music, Nguti, and all the rest. I couldn't find any, and I asked that it be sent to us here. Nobody sent us anything.
No, I sent, Secretary Chris, I sent it.
Yes, you sent it.
I sent it.
Did you resend it after I called?
Yes, they are in that number that you wanted.
Okay, good. All right, we'll use that over the week then. Thank you for joining me.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to the moment with this very, very revealing broadcast with my guest, who is an American who has worked on the ground, on ground zero, with a paid staff on ground zero, who have carried out some investigations, revelations of which you are going to hear only from ABC. Unfortunately, while I was still talking with my other guest, my current guest got frozen and doesn't appear to be connected. I will have to take a few minutes out to bring her back in. So please do not touch your remote. Let's get her connected. This is going to be very, very revealing. I mean, she will say things that will marvel you. Stay tuned, please. I will be right back. Don't touch your remote.
My mother. You must see my mother. My mother. Come and see my mother. Hey. My mother. You must see my mother. My mother. Come and carry on your max. Come and carry if you want. Come and carry. Come and carry if you want. Come and carry on your max. Come and carry if you want. Come and carry. Come and carry. If you want my body, then come see my mommy. I know like your money, but I know you want my body. My body. My body. Alele body. Come see my mommy. Make it official. If you really mean now, come and follow me all the way to Ghana. Hurry, hurry, come carry your baby go. Come and see my mother. My mother. You must see my mother. My mother. Come and see my mother. Hey. My mother. You must see my mother. My mother. Come and carry on your necks. Come and carry if you want. Come and carry. If you want. Come and carry on your necks. Come and carry if you want. Come and carry. Mr. Chama, Oga Landlord, Maradona, local official, everyday na so CCO, everyday na different species. Say you love me, talk your own. Anything I want, you got it. I'm the one you really want. All the others photocopy. Make it official. If you really mean make you follow me all the way to Nigeria. Oh. Hurry, hurry, come carry your baby go. Come and see my mother. My mother. You must see my mother. My mother. Come and see my mother. Hey. My mother. You must see my mother. My mother. Come and carry on your necks. Come and carry if you want. Come and carry. If you want. Come and carry on your necks. Come and carry if you want. Come and carry. A woman of quality knows what she wants. If you want to tidy me and do what you want, then hurry, hurry, come carry your baby go. Come and see my mother. My mother. You must see my mother. My mother. Come and see my mother. Hey. My mother. You must see my mother. My mother.
Who no know say now you be the best. Who no know say now you be one mama oh, oh, oh. Come on, come on, come on, let's do it now. My baby, my fine baby, my baby, my sweet mama. Let me tell you something about this, my sweet mama. The only woman who give it me to grow and make me a man. Thank you, for the love you showed me. Without you, my bamenda, I know for the existing. Thank you, my bamenda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the such you say for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon like Africa in the one land. My bamenda, my fine baby. My bamenda, my sweet mama. Some people say you too small to change the country. Others say you know be good for making things work. But just a name in this country. people them the shiver. The way we are picking them, they also people them they wonder. Thank you, Mama Meda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat you sweat for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in a one leg. Mama Meda. My brothers and sisters all over the world, whatever you do, always think about your home. It's a place where you will come back some days. Let's clean it up, let's build it, love. Thank you, Mama Meda. Thank you, my homeland. God bless you, my mama. For the sweat you sweat for your children. I am proud of you, you are rich. I am proud of you, you are strong. You defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in the one leg. Mama Meda. My fine baby. Mama Meda. My sweet mama. All the hardworking sons and daughters of this great northwest region of Cameroon, I want you to stand up and dance, because the time has come when we have to put our heads and hands together in order to build this our lovely and only region. You are rich, I am proud of you, you are strong, you defeat the whole Cameroon, like Africa in the one land.
Well, thank you for staying put there, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, and very unfortunately, we have connections issue with our guest. She was connected while I was still having other guests, but unfortunately she got disconnected, and all efforts to get back to her have not prevailed. So I guess what I have to do is reschedule the interview with her. I promise you, we will bring her back, and she will spill those revelations onto you, and they can only be exclusive here on ABC. Possibly next week we will find time to bring her back again. These revelations are very exclusive, and they are quite revealing of what Cho Ayaba, the ADF, is doing on the ground, working with La République du Cameroun, the connection of Eli Smith in all of this, the mass graves that were uncovered in Toleti Estate area, and other revelations about Frank Beer. And again, this lady is an American who has paid people to carry out these investigations on ground zero. Very unfortunately, again, she got disconnected, and I just can't get her to reconnect back. I promise to bring her back as soon as possible, probably sometime next week. But that said, we're going to call it a day here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Want to remind you, Coupe Mananguba is Sunday. Let's join them, let's support them, let's stand with them. Do the same thing we've done with the BLM, with Manu, with Bui, Wingo, Ketunjia, they are all Amazonians. Thank you. God bless and good night.
Listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese.